Dear friends, welcome back to the world of cybersecurity. As you know, when we conduct penetration, it will be the most essential step to check reachability of the target. Although there are so many utilities out there, such as Net Discover, the pin itself, the, the Nmap, and many others. In some special cases, we need to code our own program to, to check reachability of the target machine. So this is I'm going to do in this video. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a thumbs up. And also, if you want, you can share to others and also leave comments. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm. So without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch over to Kali Linux VM, and I will use Metasploit 2 as a target to check reachability. And the program, I will use this name as this program. You know, there are different modules for the Python to achieve this function. I mean the reachability check. For example, the first one is Scapy. This one is third-party module. In order to use this module, we need to install it with pip. And the second module would be OS module. Although there are two methods, system method and also the popen, but normally we suggest to use the second method, popen. Popen. And the next module is suppress. The last two modules are built-in module of Python. In this video, I'd like to take the OS module and this method, the popen method of OS module, to for our purpose. Okay? And however, before we start our actual coding, we need to know how this method, I mean the popen, works. Okay? So this would, I think it would better we to test in the interactive Python first. Okay, so we can put up the terminal. We can launch our interactive Python environment. We can import OS module, and the command we can use the ping. As you know, the ping command will be different between Windows machine and Linux machine. For example, in Linux machine, we can use the option of -c to specify the quantity of packets to be sent to the machine. Okay, in the Windows machine, the option would be the -n instead. Okay, so in other words, we need to check the platform or operating system. So anyone can use whatever user, for example, like the Windows user or Linux user can use this program. Okay, and IP address. Oh, sorry, I forgot to specify the number of a packet. And we can use the OS popen and command, and returned would be object. And to retrieve the object, we can just use the read lines, because this is we can use this method to retrieve this object. And this is a list. We can loop over this list to get each element. Okay, and I think the characteristic of the positive response or the response from the or live host would be TTL. If we, ping unreachable host, and you cannot see this, this string TTL. So we can utilize this point as signature to differentiate between offline and online hosts. Okay, so now we have already know that how the popen method works when we use it to check reachability. Okay, so now we can exit from the interactive Python and open up the PyCharm. The first module I'd like to import would be OS, just mentioned. And the second module, very important module, would be, the threading. Otherwise, if you ping the entire network, this would take a very long time to finish. We do not want that, right? So we can, to reduce the running time, we can utilize the threading or multi-threads module. And the third module I'd like to import would be Q. So we can use this module, Q module, to share across different threads, okay, to share information. And the next module I'd like to import is platform, just mentioned, to make this program to work for both Windows and Linux. We use this module to check operating system, okay? And the next module would be sys module. We can use this module to capture the user's input, okay? And I will use the OOP method or object-oriented programming method to code. So we can use class, and we can use the camel lemming method, my ping sweeper, okay? And as we code for the class, the first method, in most cases we need to define this method is init. But for now we just use pass. We will come back later to code. And next module would be the major module, and this would be the major logic lines, okay? And then we can use conditional, the lim, if it is equal to main. It means that if we import this piece of code into, or this file into the other program, and the following code will not be executed, okay? So now we can, instantiate the object or instance, okay? And we can use the sweeper, my, and sweeper rom, okay? And the next, of course, the next second method I forgot to mention would be OS type or OS check. And for now, we just use pass. And the next module, not a module, the method would be ping host. And we need to give another or second argument, the IP. Okay, pass. So now we can start from the first method, init a method. We can, if names sys archive is less 2, it means that the user doesn't specify the network properly, okay? So we can print the usage. The usage, and the user should specify the network, okay? And the first element of this list would be the file name, and then we can exit from this program. If not, it means that the user has already specified the network, okay? So we can use the self network sys archive, the second element of this list. And then we can print. Also, we need to specify the, sorry, not specify, we need to define the variable of the queue. Just mentioned, we can use this queue to store information. So this information will be shared across different threads. Okay. And also we can print some banner. Start scanning. Okay. So that's it for the first method. And the second method would be to check OS. We can use, so the OS type is equal to platform system. And if type is equal Windows, and then the base command would be ping, and of course we need to add the space, because afterwards we will add our IP address at its end. Okay, otherwise base command would be ping with option of -c, and then we can return base command. Okay, so next method would be, to ping individual host, and the command should be self OS check, because this will return the base command and concatenate the IP address. And then we can use the iris to capture returned value or returned information and return the result. Okay, so we can use OS popen and the command, and then we can retrieve the information for line in res, read the lines. If TTL in line, of course we need to convert to all characters. If it has uppercase a character, we need to convert it to the lowercase, and it means that this IP is alive or is online, so we can use self queue to put IP. And also we do not need to loop, do not need to continue our loop, so we can break. Okay, so now we come to the major method, and the prefix would be self network, and we can use the split and dot, the first element, something like that. If the user specify this as network, we need to extract the prefix of the network. Okay, and self network, we need to plus dot self network, self network split. Okay, so now for I in range, and then the IP should be prefix, and we need to convert integer to string, and then we need to use multi-threading module, thread class this will create the instance for this class, and we need to pass the target should be self ping host, and also the IP. Yeah, this should be tuple, and then we can start. Okay, and then it's done. We can have conditional if self q empty. It means that nothing is put into this queue, and then we can print out like no alive hosts on the network. Okay, otherwise we can while not self q empty, and we can print out the self q get. Okay, so we will print one host at one time. Okay, we can print out something. So the following hosts are online. Okay, following. So I think that's it. Now we can pull up the terminal to test it. Okay, now we can Python ping. If we do not specify the network, the usage will be given to us. And we can specify the network. And now, as you can see, the scanning will be finished within very short time. So this is due to our threading module. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.